Algebra 2B Unit 9, prep for Assessment 1. Here it comes. At some point, I need to mention that let's think of an inverse from a picture standpoint. I'm going to ask you. From a picture standpoint, what does it mean to find the inverse? If you had a piece of paper, a square piece of paper, and you drew a line dividing it right in half, 45 degrees, on a x, y plane, this line, the equation of it is y equals x. This line is y equals x. In other words, when x is 1, kind of y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. Whatever x you put in here, it equals the y. Okay. So when I find the inverse, just so you have heard it once, I have this picture here, and so it says, Thomas, please find the inverse of green picture. What they're actually asking me is to fold this paper along the dotted line. Reflect is a geometry term for it. Reflect this picture over the line, and what will happen is, if you were to fold that piece of paper, turns out the y line would actually fold down onto the x line, and the inverse picture would wind up being this red thing. Now, there's an actual way to get this picture here using numbers. That is, if you give me the numbers that go on green, if you just reverse the numbers, you'll get the picture that goes on red. Will they give you numbers for green so that you can get the inverse for red? I am not sure. But if they do, they say, hey, here's a set of numbers. Please write the inverse. And of course, 15 turns into 51. 26 turns into 62. And 37 turns into 73. Hopefully you can see that. And hopefully you're reminded, as I am, that math isn't necessarily hard all the time, other than you have to remember it all. And who can remember it all? So again, if I was advising you, not only in math, but in school in general, and then in life, if you want to become better, just period, better, improve your memory. Improve your memory, and then you automatically become better. You know more names, you remember more facts. It just makes you better. And there are systems out there. There's mega memory. Even though the guy who came up with it, he's in jail now. Kevin Trudeau. He just went too far with his memory. The other memory systems, they all eventually start teaching you the same thing. Turn things into pictures, and then those pictures turn them into like a story. Moving on. Step 1, inverses. Inverses will have a name. Inverses, let's make them good people, bad people. Outside of prison, we are good people. We are the original function. We get put in prison, we probably need a teardrop. We're probably going to have to do something to get a teardrop. When we get in prison to get that teardrop, we are inverses. We're the opposite of ourselves, and we need somehow to, when we come back out, to let people know we're not the same person. I'm not doing magic anymore. I'm shooting people. You need to know that somehow, and this little extra mark up here is it. It looks like to the -1 power, but it's just referred to as inverse. F inverse of x. Normally you would just say f of x. Hi, f of x. Here your f inverse of x, which is why at the very end, once we do all our stuff, the name has to change, so we changed some stuff. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try to do 2 of these. I hate that I'm going to do this guy because he's easier. Let's see, 2 of those and get to the back. Here we go. Let me just comment with you here, what you have in here, so when you're looking at your notes on this time, you know what you're looking at. Step 1, you note the original name, f of x, that's just the name of the work. To do this, step 1, change the name. Okay. F of x, you use its middle name. Its middle name is y. Any function can be called y equals whatever, or you can say f of x, g of x, t of x, any letter you want to name the thing. Change it from first name to middle name, which is what I use my younger son's middle name. His name is Roman. My older son's middle name is Maximus. I have trouble using that name. I advertise him as Maximus, but personally.
Did you name it after the movie?
I did.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Gladiator. That's why I'm on the list. Are you not entertained? Yeah, whatever. It's still cool, strong.
Is it cool?
It's different. Yeah. Bought my sword. So here's the deal. F of x, use middle name y. Once you have the y equals the stuff, Then you got to switch the y and the happy face. That's how I feel inside. All right. After you do that, you're going to switch them. See the marks I'm making? The marks I'm making technically help you with, there's a visual to, something happens with that, turns into that. Something happens here, they switch the x and the y, see where they were originally. Once you have this, then you have to be able to solve an equation for y. I'll solve it right here, even though it's on your paper. Let's see, -2 minus 2, x minus 2 equals my 5y. And then you divide the 5, you're like done. So many steps makes it seem difficult, but all the individual steps are easy. Y equals x minus 2 all over the 5. Lastly, that y and this y look the same. Y equals, y equals. But clearly, y equals a single line. Y equals a two-story house. Single-story house, they're different y's. This is y out of jail. This is y going in. This is like Orange is the New Black. You haven't seen all of them, but clearly it's a lady who, let's find out. Here you come back out. You got to change your name. What's your name? Whatever your original function name was, you just put a -1 power on it. Even though it's not that, you put an inverse insignia. Here comes, you are f of, you are an f of, so you're an f of x. Same guy. I'm the same person. No, you're a little different. And plus your mark. In other words, you can't get a job. Yeah, you're new, but we're not going to hire you. Sorry, man. Look, I'm rehabilitated. Yeah, you're felony though.
So what do you say?
Sorry, and you can't vote. You don't want to choose Hillary for it, then you can't choose anything. They're trying to get that changed, but this is the penalty for doing. You said B? B as in boy?
B as in boy.
All right. B as in boy. Step 1, someone tell me I'm going to do first.
Oh, make it a Y.
Yeah, you got to change the name. Step 2, change the X and the Y. Step 3, all on the same thing. Sure, I'll do it like this. Not a 4. How do you get rid of a radical? They raise up to the second power. The house and the 2 cancel out. What you do on one side of the equal sign, you can do on the other. Hey, what happened to the house and what happened to the 2? They're inverses. They're opposites. They undo one another. I give you a birthday gift. I take it away. You still wind up just as you were. A little more sad, of course. Minus that. Last step. Someone say what the last step is other than Milo. He's out of prison. He has to do something different now. And then Milo, someone tell me what I'm going to do. I just circled it to remind you, to give you a hint. Okay. Well, let's see. You'll see it on the test. Now, you get down to this part and you don't do this. Let's say it's worth 4 points, I'm giving you 3 out of 4. Say it's worth 2 points, I'm giving you 1 out of 2. Say it's worth 1 point. If there are 3 of this type, I may give it to you 2 times and mark you wrong on 1. In other words, you don't change the name at the end. Something ain't right. All right, and then record that. There. Hey, Thomas, find the inverse of this very long, ugly problem. The only thing that makes this thing worth anything is the fact that the word log is in there. Other than that, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. That's the opposite of subtracting. I'm going to divide 5 on both sides. It's the opposite of the inverse of multiplying. How do I get rid of a base for a log? It's the opposite of raising something to a power. So let's just do it. Use your notes on this part. Step 1, turn U, and then everybody else stays the same. I suggest writing all the steps. Anything a teacher writes on the board, as a former math student myself, you just write it. You don't write it because you get it. You write it because you might need it. The teacher thinks it's important enough to write, you write it. Sometimes he writes too much, or she does, but at that point, whatever, you just write it. Next step, switch the X and the Y. Same thing. Again, just switching, at the switching point, I basically want to give you partial credit. This move here is kind of like way important. So at this point, I feel like I'm giving you, if it's out of 4, I'm giving you at least 1 point. Maybe even 2. 2 for changing the name and then for switching them. That's like worth half the whole thing because now I'm just solving an equation. See if I can do this and then, okay, so you will only have 50 minutes. 50 is still better than what I normally do, so, and really it's only, about half of it is going to be good, the other half is going to be like an old stuff, and that old stuff never works out in 50 minutes. Come on, you can do it. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Oh, I'm solving for y. How do I get to y? In any problem where you're getting rid of stuff, they're the cousins, the people separated by plus and minus signs. The ship is sinking, somebody has to die, your cousin has to die first. You're not going to kill yourself, and your mom is on board. If you like her, we're going to assume you like your mom. Okay, because I'm good on, for this story, you like your mom. Your cousin Eduardo, I like Eduardo, but he's got to go. Right, so he's gone. Second, sure, this could be, I'm making my sister. I like my sisters most of the time. Sometimes not so much. And I think they don't like me sometimes, which is wrong. In any case, boom, she has to go. Rosale has to go. She's gone. Now we're down to it. I'm Y, and even though it's a +3, but we're together, that's my mom. I'm gonna let her go. She had a good life. She had a good life, you know. She's like, I think she's about 70 now. I'm only 45. I gotta live. I got kids. They need their dad. Kids can grow up without a grandma. You know that, right? Yeah. So we're gonna let her go, and she rests in peace. And then I stand alone. Okay. What does that mean? When you're getting rid of, when you're solving an equation, get rid of addition, subtraction first, multiplication, division next, and then some other weird stuff last. So let's see what they can do here. Step 1. Sure, I'll add the 2 to both sides. I hate to do it this way. We're doing the inverse. Yes, we're writing a lot. We write a lot, so it seems like you're smart. Young people outside the room, when they see all this writing, they assume a lot of writing in math automatically means the kids who are writing it are smart. Well, no, you're just rewriting the next level down. Did one move. I should listen to see what they're doing. All right. I'm trying to keep everything in blue, the stuff that was there before, so as you go back and look at this video, and by look at the video, I mean don't look at the video, step by step. Now, some people refuse to look at the video, which is such an odd thing. It's like having a personal tutor plus the memory of, oh yeah, I was there when he did that, so I kind of remember it, versus it's just a brand new thing. You could go online and Google a problem like this. There's some other guy from somewhere else. Here comes the challenge. Oh, shoot. It's about to get ugly now. Yes. Mm-hmm. To get rid of this log 4, whatever the base is, this whole big thing is going to turn into an exponent, like something raised to a power. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I thought the word log is there. So let's see if I can put a red 4. And I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't do. I probably shouldn't do this. But I'm going to tell them why I'm doing it. Here's what I just did. 4 raised to the power of all the junk in the red blocks. 4 raised to the power of all the stuff in the red blocks. In other words, to get rid of a log, you find out whatever the base was, and you raise the whole thing, or you make the whole thing the power. I don't know how to say it. Look at it. Look at it. Just like.
It's basically sometimes to cancel it out. Cancel before.
Yeah, they're about to cancel out, but I need you to feel that 4 is the base, and all this blue stuff is the power. Just like 4 raised to the second power, you know. Instead of a 2, it's a lot of junk. But it turns out it doesn't matter what a lot of junk is, because you don't have to figure anything out other than to turn all the stuff into a balloon that now the 4 is holding. It's a big balloon. What happens with that? This cancels with this. And this stays the same. Well, what does he mean? I'm near the end of this thing, but watch this. In blue, get some extension. In blue, the y plus 3 comes out, which is the point. When there's no log in front of the parenthesis, we no longer need the parenthesis. You're free. Y, I just need one more step. This guy over here, I wrote U too high. Now this is going to get in the way, but let's see if they can handle this. 4 raised to the green stuff. The question is, do they need this blue stuff, or I mean the red bricks, brackets? Yeah, they call it brackets. Technically, you don't need them. I'm just putting them there so it can feel like 4 raised to something. The sheer length of this problem makes you an exceptional math student, even though it's just steps. If we did 3 of these in a row, you'd be like, oh, okay, got it, log. If this were 7, you go 7, and if this were 10, you go 10. You know, math is so fake in the sense that you're not really as good as it makes you seem. Here we go, last step. Let's do this +3 in green. Do +3, do -3. -3, let's see if they can see this. 4 raised to all this x plus 2 all over 2 stuff. I'll put it in brackets there even though I don't have to. All of that minus the 3 equals just the y by itself.
The -3
It is following all of this stuff. I should make it a different color so you can feel that. It's all this stuff minus 3. And then last step. And someone tell me, other than Milo, what the new name of y is going to be?
F of x.
F of x is close. What's the new name? All right, I'll give some backup. She started us off. Someone give some backup. F of x is going to be the new name after you get out of prison. But you got a teardrop in prison.
F inverse.
F inverse of x. Without this, you're saying you're the exact same person who went in, and you're not. The paper setting straight up and down, where lengthwise its longest is portrait. As you know, to turn it counterclockwise, that is, turn it to your left, you now have landscape in the world of printing, or in the world of computers. The rule will simply be this. What you would normally graph as portrait, which I'm going to show you, would be fine if the letter y, in the problem I'm going to give you, if the letter y came first. Y coming first, y equals, means keep it as is, graph it the way you normally would, where y is up and down, x is left and right. You're going to be graphing the inverse. That is, x is going to come first. X equals y something something. Because x comes first, that means now you have to turn it counterclockwise to landscape so that x is now pointing to the ceiling. You'll do the work on here, landscape. When you turn it to me, you'll turn it back to portrait, and the picture as it shows is what should really be there. Let's do one of those and see what happens. Let's see what. Let's go x equals. Should I do 2 of them so they can see the difference? But it might be confusing. I'm going to try it anyway. Are they both going to be the same color? Come on, you can do this.
Could we do it in the bottom third chart?
Yes, please. Is the whole thing big? There's a little book thing. All right, so good. Oh, maybe because I really wrote on you. Now I did that. Really? Okay. Making these up because I'm genius. All right. By the time I get something before, that's 40 minutes. After that, I gotta stop. As if you're gonna remember all this anyway.
Does it matter if you put it on the bottom?
No, but as a general rule, do what teacher does, and at least when it's time to refer to it, teacher will know whether you're missing the problem because of the way you wrote it or what you actually understand. This is going to be tricky. There are 3 problems. You need to put a star on one. It's the bottom one that I want you to know. The other 2 I'm trying to show you so you're reminded of something. Let me see, can I move this thing down a little bit so I can use the top? That's no good. Will you even erase for me? I don't think you're erasing nowadays. Good, you're erasing.
If you turn to the Microsoft ink on top, or doesn't it allow you to change color?
You might be right, dude. Because if you are, that's gonna be helpful. Thanks, yeah. All right, how do I fix that? I hit you. I move you. I hit this thing. I hit you. And I'm recording this all along, so if someone's watching, like, sweet, I get to see it in action. All right, so it's good to have them on board. Red is going to be the important one. All right, Thomas, how can you do this? You ready? You ready? You ready? All right. You're going to have to imagine this one down here. This is going to be the whole landscape thing that you're going to turn your paper sideways. I don't know what you're doing up here. Maybe you're just watching. All right, here I go. Let's go back to regular colors. Green for you. How about blue for you for the second guy? Up here, which you don't have access to, so you're gonna have to make a decision in your own life. You can maybe do a. You could possibly do. I don't know what I did. Oh, it's on that. You can make an XY plane if you don't have another one, because this is the one we're gonna use. Here it goes. Do it, Thomas. 1. Hey, Thomas, please graph y equals x squared. In my youth, this has been a hard problem. Now, because I've taught it a bazillion times, this is a baby problem for me. This is going to be the letter U, whose vertex hits the origin. It looks a little something like this. I have this. I'm still on portrait. I haven't done any magical stuff. You're green. I haven't done any magical stuff. This is just regular. If you're in Algebra 2A, Unit 2, you've done this a bunch of times. I'm going to label it y equals. Let me label it on the inside because I don't think it's going to be on the inside. Let me label it on the inside by going, this is y equals x squared. Dang it. Y equals x squared. All right, hopefully you're not amazed or anything. Like, okay, yeah, I've seen that before, or whatever. Hey, Thomas, oh, that's supposed to be green. Does it matter? Yes, it does matter. Let's do you in blue and green. Green is going to be important because you're going to do green twice. First, straight up and down. Second, sideways. Well, you know you're going to do it twice, straight up and down. Here comes green. You ready, green? All right, let's see. This says I need to move it 3 spaces to the left, because whatever's inside the parentheses, you always do the opposite. Move it 3 spaces to the left, move 1 space down, and the negative sign says that U that's pointing up, you used to flip down. 3 things from a long time ago, which don't really matter in your life, other than to test your ability to memorize. Here we go. So I'm going to put an arrow. You're going to go to the left. You're going to go down, and you're going to flip-a-roo. I don't know how that shows a flip, but that's what I'm going to do. Put those marks maybe when you look at your picture, you're thinking you know where. Here we go. Original is blue. I'm going to move this original picture 3 to the left, shift it 1 down, then flip the whole thing down. What does he mean? I'm going to take the vertex. I'm moving 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move it 1 down. If this were a +1, I'd move it 1 up. If this were a -3, I'd move it 3 to the right. Too much to remember, but hopefully the video's there. Yeah, I'm recording. So
-3, -1.
Or just do what you see. Now the rule will be this. Normally, no, I'll just draw it down. They might be saying, shouldn't you be going up? Well, the minus sign makes it flip down. The x +3 makes it back up to the left, and the plus and the -1 rather. I'm nervous about that. Can I get this? Will you do anything for me? Again? Really? Oh, this thing appears supposed to be you. eraser? Okay. Also, I'm using everything there. -1. All right, and I missed a whole red and yellow. That was good for a video talk. In any case, here's the deal. I just turned mine sideways, and I'll exit the top and the left. So you should have everything landscape. If you have everything landscape, here's what should happen. The X should be at the top. You don't have to do it to yours. You don't have to do any of this. I have to do that because mine won't turn. So you don't have to mark any X or Y. When you turn yours sideways, the X is automatically at the top, the Y is at the bottom. All right, Thomas, can you do this? Because we need more than 35 minutes. Here it comes. I'm going to graph this bottom one the same way I just graphed the green. I'm going to graph the red the same way I just graphed the green, except, well, let's just do it, and they should be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Step 1, the original picture would have been here, but I'm going to move it 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 1 down. 1. Normally, if this were a regular parabola, which is what this U is called, it would point up to the ceiling, up towards the top, but because of this minus sign, I have to flip it down so it looks like this. I'm going to label it X equals negative, parenthesis, Y, what did I got, +3, -1,
Which
and I'm going to pause.